It came as a result of Peju Alatise's interaction with people.
This one came as a result of a simple chat on Facebook. I'm not a Facebook person, but just a simple chat. And then it was, I made a statement, we should teach our children that you reap what you sow, and then what goes around comes back around. You have to teach them to own responsibility, take responsibility. And then someone replied me and said, Peju, Nigeria is the evidence that you get away with anything. You know, we've seen it happen all the time. So she doesn't really buy that statement. And then from there, you know, the experiences of thinking about what they've said, that really, can you just do anything and not own up to it or take responsibility for your actions? And then the works that I have done, which is called testament. Everything is about testament, which is testifying. And then a whole series on witnesses. And if I'm going to talk about testament and talk about the greed in Nigeria, talk about the fact that the government does very little to protect its women and children, and also talk about my idealistic view to the solution of Nigeria, the way I would want the country to be. With those thought processes and those experiences and encounters with people, I have come up with what I've come up with.
All the materials used for these exquisite art pieces were sourced locally.
Once upon a time, I complained about availability. I complained about possibilities. You know, in Nigeria, you can't get these materials to work with. In Nigeria, if you get these materials to work with, you cannot get the tools to work with them. So I learned a big lesson, working with what is available and transforming it in a way that it cannot be seen anywhere else. It's using what you have to get what you want, basically. So when I stopped complaining and learned to see the materials for what they can really do, and manipulate the materials in order to respond to what I want them to say, that stopped for me. I work with what is available, and you will be amazed as to what you can create with what is available. The good thing about working with what is available is that you don't get that anywhere else. When you get clay from Nigeria, you will make pottery that no other person can produce anywhere else. You work with the materials that you find within the earth here. You come up with things that are original to who you are. They're true to your personality, true to the climate, true identity. I mean, what else can be more Nigerian than what you get from Nigeria?
Fidelis Odogu is a sculptor who continuously experiments with metal.
I have Peju as a colleague. We do so many things together, as in we handle so many projects together. She has ideas and I have ideas also, so we'll come together, put the ideas together and see how we can forge forward in our practice. If you look at what we have here, I actually did the framework, which is the skeletal, the armature, the skeletal work of it, and she added hers, which is the beads and all that.
Peju is an architect by training, but quite versatile.
If I have a project I'm working on, or I have a painting that has to do with me having to make the clothes for them, I will sew. But that won't make me a tailor. I do what I need to do to get what I want, basically. So if I needed to use wood in a certain way, then I have to make the wood talk to me. And if it is cement, I have to make cement talk to me. And then I also pursue new skills. You know my background in architecture. Architecture helps you to see materials. It helps you to see the possibilities of what materials can become. I mean, a piece of block becomes a fantastic building.
She says she enjoys working with other artists.
Working with other artists helps me learn more.
Peju also collaborated with Okemute to produce these wearable and unwearable art.
We create our own jewelry. We don't get catalog. We create this African look. If you really go through the jewelries, look at them, you see that they are quite different from what you see in the market. We add our artistic skills and the use of colors, all of them we add to it. So most of the jewelries we don't even copy from other places. So you don't see what we have here, you don't see them outside this place.
The interplay of terracotta beads, camel bones, cow horn, glass base, and semi-precious stones is simply fascinating.
Most of them are real stones, real silver. We have real coral, we have real pearls. Few of them are locally, but most of them, it was when we traveled, we got them. Most of the stones, South Africa. Then Kenya, we also got some from Kenya too. The coconut shell, the elephant tusk, we got them from Kenya.
They also made baskets that can serve different purposes.
They are not just this common basket you see around. We made them right from the beginning. We got from the metal work, the weaving of the mat. Then we added beads to it. So that's why they are very different from the normal basket you see around. They have different purposes. You can use them for newspaper to put your fruit as a dining table, put in your dining table and put things. They have so many functions. That's the aesthetic and also the functional value.
Beju has energy, a focused young lady and quite ingenious, but this is how she describes herself.
Very restless, and I'm a Red Bull. I'm very restless, very restless. Very, very restless. Yes.
Having a daughter who's carved a niche for herself is not something to be taken for granted.
Alhamdulillah. I thank the Almighty Allah for His blessings, for keeping us alive, for keeping her alive, for keeping me alive to see her grow.
I feel overwhelmed. I feel that she's done a lot of work, and she's been very consistent with her ideas and propagating it. And by the time she started talking about the story behind the story, it's overwhelming. And I'm very, very proud of her.
Are there more grounds to cover? One wonders what Beju will come up with next.
I don't know. I have to dream about it. You know these things, Dave. I don't know. I'm not sure. No, I think I know, but it's a secret. So I can't say it just yet because you know what they say about saying things before they happen.
Yeah, you being superstitious.
I'm not being superstitious, but I'm being sensible. I don't want to say something and they're like, Pedro, you know, you said you're going to work on this and it's not happening.